Órale, Cholo Truck, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Shouts to all the chingones y chingonas. All right, man, we'll definitely get into the whole Canelo card and the Monster Anyway fight on Friday's show. But right now, I want to stick to Friday, the one that's supposed to kick off this mega weekend of just boxing, man, right? Out at Times Square, out in in New York, man. A lot of complaints coming down, more information coming out on the people that were out there. They couldn't see the fight. It was sectioned off to just a small group of people, and the people on the outside had to watch on the screen with no sound whatsoever. And a lot of people ended up leaving. That's what I'm hearing. There's reports. There's people reporting that a lot of people had to end up leaving and watching it at home so they can actually hear it, and that no, it wasn't the big spectacle that they thought it was going to be, right? Whatever, dog. I mean, I think it's better if you just have it in an arena, you know, instead of doing these things like this outdoors. It just put it in an arena, even if it's in an outdoor arena, as long as, you know, the time of the year is right, where you're not going to be, you know, where you're not going to be worrying about, is it going to rain? Is there going to be some sort of weather, you know, problem with the wind or anything of that sort? Put it in the right time, the right year. It could be a good showing, man. But things like that, man, just, I don't know. But anyway, you know, all the Golden Boy fighters, they all lost. You know, from Barbosa, Ramirez, Ryan Garcia. You know what, man? Jose Ramirez, I was there last year, January of 2024. I was there when Virgil Ortiz, I think he fought Lawson at that night in Vegas, when Golden Boy had this, you know, reveal, like, oh, I got this surprise, and it was the signing of Jose Ramirez. And it's just like, man, you know what, Ramirez, homie, you lost the eye of the tiger. Now, a lot of people already kind of knew that. I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, because he was bringing up the fact that he doesn't have to drain himself to make 140. And I thought, man, you know what? Maybe that is it. Maybe it is it. We'll see. Yeah, nah, dog. You lost the eye of the tiger, Holmes. You know what, man? You're a good dude, a pillar in your community. You do a lot for your neighborhood and everything like that. Hey, a toda madre, man, go handle that. But as far as the ring, brother, you lost the eye of the tiger. And there's nothing wrong with that, carnal. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But that's it, dog, you know. As far as Arnold Barbosa, he was never a great fighter. He was in between decent and good at best, you know. Teofimo Lopez, dog, everybody knew that this dude is an elite fighter or he's just an average fighter. He's one or the other. All right? And it depends where he wants to be that night. He's somewhere in between those two. He can be here, he could be here, or he could be somewhere in the middle. It just depends on him. Really, he can be an elite fighter if he chooses to be that night. And then he could just be average if he chooses to be that night, or he just somewhere in between that. But it's really just his choice, because he does got the skills, dog, to be an elite fighter, which kind of floors me. Like, damn, I don't know what's up with this character, right? Ryan and Rolly, let's get to that. Okay, so now there's talks about there not even being a rematch between Ryan and Devin. So that's the question I want to go ahead and ask all the chingones out there, man. Do you guys want to see that rematch, or would you guys rather see a rematch between Ryan and Rolly? In all reality, honestly, I think Ryan and Rolly probably sells a little bit more than Ryan and Devin. You know, Devin didn't do himself any favors. Yes, okay, so he won the fight. Got it. You know, Ryan looked like trash. Good gosh, that fool looked like trash, dog. You know, my boy, his brother, Bobby Garcia, I was partying out with him watching the fight. He didn't even finish watching it. Come to the, I don't know, 10th round, he went and jumped in the pool. He was somewhat depressed. I finished watching the fight. The rest of us finished watching the fight, but, you know, he didn't. He went in and jumped in the pool. He's all like, nah, I already saw it in his face. That's it. I didn't want to finish watching it. I was just like, damn. Gacho, dog. You know, Ryan completely, what a dud, man. And Devin Haney, I mean, I guess because he won the fight, but dog, what a dud as well. But not only that, it's like, I think I'd rather see the rematch between Rolly and Ryan. Now, that's not to say that I'm waiting at the edge of my seat. Let me put the window up. That's not to say that I'm waiting at the edge of my seat saying like, man, I hope this rematch happens. Man, I can't wait for this rematch. Nah, Charlie, dog, that's not it at all. Now, Ryan versus Devin, sure. Either one. Here's what I'll say. Here's the way I'll put it. When it comes to these fights, okay, Ryan, I think, still sells. I think he's got a little bit of juice left when it comes to selling, okay? I'm not talking about in the ring. I'm not talking about he's got juice left in the ring to put on some great fights. Maybe he does. Heck, I don't know what he showed this past Friday. Not Charlie, he doesn't, dog. But my point is, his selling power, it's probably starting to diminish a little bit, but he can still sell somewhat. A heck of a lot more than Devin can. Devin was never, ever a seller. Devin could never sell tickets. Okay? He just can't. So, in all reality, if I'm the Turk, all right? If I'm the Turk, I'm paying attention to that. And I'm saying like, okay, the whatever is left of Ryan's star power that sells, which it's starting to go down, it's starting to lose stock, but it's not at the bottom yet. But it's taking a few steps down. I'm gonna use up. And in reality, I wouldn't have Rolly and Ryan. I would not have them in a main event. In all honesty, put Rolly versus Ryan rematch in the undercard of Canelo and Crawford. I would not have them as a main event. Ryan still sells to a certain degree, probably not as much as he used to, but he still somewhat sells. He still has a little bit of selling power. He still has a little bit of star power. Like I said, starting to go down a little bit, but it still sells. But I would not put him in a main event, at least not right now. If he scores some sort of knockout win over Rolly, then maybe we could talk about that. But as it stands right now, no, dog. I would actually put Rolly versus Ryan in the undercard, in the co-main event of Canelo Crawford. Or if you're gonna continue with what was planned out with Devin versus Ryan, I still wouldn't put them in the main event. I would put them in that undercard, and I wouldn't pay them as much. And by the way, I think you could bargain with that. I think Turk, I think he can. I think he's got room to bargain with that. He could tell Ryan, you lost. You lost. I can't pay you as much, Ryan. So, I'm asking you guys, what would you rather see? None of this, oh man, I don't want to see any of them. Yeah, but you know what? He's going to fight. Ryan is still going to fight. Would you rather see him fight Rolly in the rematch? Or would you rather see him fight Devin? Some people are saying that it should be Rolly versus Devin. I don't think that sells, because I think Ryan still outsells both of those guys. Whether he should or shouldn't outsell them, that's another conversation. But I think he still outsells them. His star power is starting to diminish. It's starting to take a couple of hits. Yes, it is. But he still sells more than Devin. Easily, by far. And Rolly, who knows, dog? He could start building some star power. It's crazy to think, but people know who Rolly is. People would just kind of tune in just to see this fool Rolly Romero, dog. Just, because he's a little bit of a jackass, dog. But after winning, beating Ryan, I don't know. That probably put a little bit more stock in his star power. But Ryan does still somewhat sell. And I would put Ryan in the undercard of Canelo and Crawford, whether it's against Rolly, which I think is probably the way to go, or against Devin Haney. But I would not make them a main event. I would not do it. Ryan lost. He lost. And if you put Rolly versus Devin, dog, good luck making that a main event and trying to sell out. Devin Haney does not sell. He doesn't sell. And maybe he won his fight, but both Ryan and Devin were straight, dog, dud. Straight duds, homie. Straight duds. But what do you guys think should happen, man? Should Ryan fight Rolly or should Ryan fight Devin? And should they be a main event or should they be put in an undercard? I'd say put them in the co-main event of Canelo and Crawford. Don't make that sucker a main event. You guys let me know what you guys think, man. Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones, Boxing, shout out to all the chingones y chingonas. Catch you guys on next round.